Eurasian Times, 22nd of July 2023, Nepal gets angry over China's unilateral actions, Kathmandu disappointed with Beijing's fake BRI project. China's new Silk Road BRI is the largest infrastructure project ever imagined that would enslave the earth through debt. It was introduced by President Jinping in 2013 and consists of a vast array of investment and development initiatives that were first created to link East Asia and Europe. However, it has grown to include Africa, Oceania, and Latin America in a decade, in line with China's expanding economic and political power. To ease transit, transportation, logistics, and related infrastructure development through cross-border projects in railway, road, civil aviation, power grid, information, and communication, Nepal and China signed a Memorandum of Understanding (MO). After the agreement was signed, Nepal first specified 35 projects to be carried out under BRI. Eventually, it was reduced to 9 to avoid becoming caught in a debt trap. Even though the Nepalese government is concerned about how the projects would be funded, through grants or soft loans, China has moved to unilaterally claim that several projects have been finished within the BRI framework. In the most recent event, Chen Song, the ambassador of the People's Republic of China to Nepal, introduced WeChat Pay cross-border payment service during the inaugural Dragon Boat Race Festival between the two nations in June 2023. Chen Song later tweeted, "Warm congrats on the launch of WeChat Pay's cross-border payment service in Nepal. One of the 5 connectivities under the BRI strategy, financial connectivity has made new strides. Confusion has resulted in Kathmandu's power corridors as a result of this." Foreign Minister NP Saud responded to the opposition party's request for clarity by stating that the BRI project implementation plan was being discussed between China and Nepal and had not been authorized. In Nepal, not a single BRI-funded project has been carried out. The BRI's project implementation plan is still being considered. The Kathmandu Post cited him on this. Sanjeev Satganya, a senior journalist and former editor of the Kathmandu Post, believes that China has used the BRI as its foreign and regional policy instrument and that it has changed over time. China's new foreign relations law, which only took effect last month, justifies the promotion of BRI as a mandate. Therefore, the Chinese view including any infrastructure projects they support under the BRI as a strategic choice. In light of the U.S. renewed interactions with Kathmandu, it also makes more sense for Beijing to assert BRI's presence there, Satganya said to the Eurasian Times. Before this, the Chinese embassy had stated on Twitter that this is the flagship project of China-Nepal BRI cooperation as it handed over the Pokhara International Airport to Nepal. Warm congratulations to Nepali-governed Nepali people. The airport wasn't included in the BRI list. In 2016, Nepal obtained a $215.96 million soft loan from China. The contract did not mention the BRI. The accusation was reiterated by China's ambassador to Nepal, turning the airport into a contentious political issue. India has hesitated to launch new air routes to this airport since it has been observing the growing geopolitical power of China in the region. Chinese aircraft departing from Tibet only have this airport as their final destination. The approval of new aircraft routes from India is still pending for Gautam Buddha International Airport, another international airport constructed in Nepal. The airport was built by Chinese engineers, if not with Chinese funding. The Nepalese government prioritizes all projects for economic growth. However, project modality, financial transparency, and all other concerns must be made public in all projects, according to Bharat Gautam, a journalist based in Kathmandu, in an interview with the Eurasian Times. About the conflicting views on the BRI, Gautam remarked, "China says one thing, while the Nepalese government says another. Nepal's critical worries about China have been these three things. It is unclear whether grants or soft loans would be used to finance the projects. Nepal does not prefer loans, grants are. Second, Nepal wants the interest rate comparable to multilateral lenders like the Asian Development Bank and the World Bank. Thirdly, China insists on using Chinese companies for the majority of projects. Nepal desires competitive bidding for the projects. Nepal, for its side, should demonstrate its negotiation might because it has already stated that it prefers to provide help over loans. To avoid getting caught in a debt trap, Nepal must use caution while accepting Chinese aid, whether BRI-related or not, stressed Satganya. Although Nepal has requested funds, the previous Chinese ambassador to Nepal, Ho Yankee, told journalists on April 22 of this year that the BRI would include both grants and commercial loans. It is based on a cooperative modality that includes grants and commercial cooperation, she added. You clarified that the BRI covers many of the projects China is now undertaking in Nepal. This BRI project is lengthy. 3 modalities are used in the BRI projects being built in Nepal. First, it is comparable to Lumbini's Gautam Buddha Airport, where the ADB invested, and Chinese contractors worked. Second, the Pokhara Airport's design features commercial financing and grants from China, and the construction firm is likewise Chinese, according to Ho. The third mode is comparable to Kathmandu's Tribhuvan International Airport. A Chinese corporation has been tasked with renovating this airport, and the Nepali government will cover the costs. BRI money, a poison scepter for the world's poor. 147 nations from all over the world have joined the enormous program. However, it is claimed that the nations that have taken out substantial loans to finance infrastructure projects are falling deeper and deeper into a debt trap. Near the market interest rate, China has been funding the project and, in most cases, has insisted on hiring Chinese businesses and contractors. The initiative's detractors claim that China will exploit the loans to gain geopolitical sway. Over 100 debt financing agreements that China had with other governments were examined in a 2021 study. Absolute confidentiality was required of the borrowing nations, and the contract included provisions prohibiting refinancing the loan from the Paris Club, a group of 22 essential creditor nations. Additionally, China retained the ability to request repayment at any moment and might use this to put other nations under pressure to follow its lead on matters like Taiwan. India has opted not to participate in the BRI for this very reason. Prime Minister Narendra Modi stated at the recently completed Shanghai Cooperation Organization (SCO) that connectivity should not come at the expense of countries' sovereignty and enslavement to China.